African American colleges.
Right,
And they're getting rid of these niggas because they don't need them to run and operate nothing no more. They're done.
This is another New Black World Order TV Productions, and I got Sister Ezekia
Afari.
All right. Thanks for coming through the New Black World Order TV. You're a long-time friend, and I've always known you. You've always been conscious. You always had that fire. And I was thinking about you lately to come on our show and share some of the things that you've been doing over the years, because you're not new. You're not a Facebook warrior. You're not a YouTube warrior. You have been out here in the streets. This is one of our great sisters, and in her being is the return and the presence of great ancestors. And we honor you. And how are you doing today, sister?
Well, I'm thankful. I'm really thankful that God allowed me to, the Creator itself and all those ancestors that allowed me to come one more time today, you know, during this sun. I was sharing with you, brother, about this sun and how we know who we are because we have color. And hue is color. And so now we are human. And that's one reason why I say again that we are not encouraged to give life. We're, encouraged to be opposite of that because we've been built on Urugu and, intelligence. He then stripped us of all our Yoruba,
Orishas.
Right. The natural being that who we really are, and transformed us into something that is just out of this world. And so therefore we are not in touch with ourselves. But I want to say, by me allowing myself to get rooted and grounded back into my ancestors and get back into who I am and why I'm here, then therefore I'm glad and I'm grateful to be able to share this message with you today on what I feel as though why we're hated so much.
Okay, so that's our topic. Why are we hated so much? I want you to go in on this.
Well, we are hue, meaning color. Color. We got color from the sun. God, they say God in the Bible gave his only begotten son, that whoever so believeth in him or accept him shall have everlasting life. Now, that son is not the S-O-N.
That's not that white boy?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure about that, brother. It's the S-U-N, the son. Because anything that son has done is never, it comes every day to give us a new day. It also is photosynthesis for the plants. It gives the plants life, it gives us life, and we all energy come from the sun. So what other in this universe did our ancestors do? And also the Creator itself gave our only begotten son, the S-U-N, so that we will have everlasting life. And not only that, when we meditate, we also can close our eyes, glimpsing at the sun, and just hold it in, and you'll resonate in your consciousness for a long period of time, and you'll see that light continue to beam into your pineal gland. That's your third eye.
Okay.
So therefore, it's a reason again why we're hated. It's because when you were born without hue, without color, without melanin, you have a tendency to create stuff to get people to go after that rather than the spirit.
He's got all calcium.
That's right.
This thing been calcified.
It's counsel. He ain't got one. He ain't got no real consciousness. All he knows is he goes over to the people of color and take from them and clarify that to be his own. He goes to the shaman. He took away from the shaman and then he says, oh yeah, I got it. What you got? You ain't got nothing, because now you're going over there killing off all the plants to take the ayahuasca and use it for drug purposes, and they call it, what they call that mess that they smoke it? DMT.
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 Synthetic marijuana.
Huh. They are
I call it bugging out weed.
Right. They do anything to get to another level and don't know what they're doing. And all they want to do is get high. Go on YouTube and check out DMT, brothers and sisters, and look at these little white children that's out there smoking it. It's because their parents allowed them to give them money to go out there and experiment on things that came from a vine.
Because we follow white trends,
exactly,
there we go smoking it too.
Right, and all this came from the rainforest over there in Africa and throughout, not only in
South
Africa,
America,
in South America, Asia, all throughout the world. God has gave us plants.
Nature, God,
nature,
whatever you call it.
Right, you stand beside a tree and you look like, don't that look like this tree right here behind us? This is who we are. But you said somebody else in front of this tree and they don't represent that. They would put a dog right beside him, and you know goodness well he looked just like the dog. Don't he looked like that dog, he looked like that animal.
Neanderthal.
Yes, because he's an animal, he has an animal tendency.
Okay.
His mind is automatically inferior because he knows that he is not worthy of that sun. And when that sun come out, he has a gas ass inside because he knows he's gonna get sunburn or sun damages is gonna come.
So how he feels about his lack of melanin, knowing that nature has excluded him? Does that make him think certain ways about us and some type of jealousy?
Of course. He's been doing that all...
This is a part of your subject.
Right. It's a part of my subject. It's talking about why he hates us so much. Why he look at us and intimidated behind the fact that he looking at your soul when he look in those brown eyes. Anybody that's got some kind of color in them, first of all, they're going to look in the eyes. Sometimes you can't tell so much as by the skin. But if you look in that white man's eyes and don't see nothing but emptiness and veins, the gray or blue or some type of, it's not whole and concrete at all. Mm-hmm. See, the darkness makes everything more solid. And once he looking to your eyes, he can't stand to look in your eyes and see that you have gotten whole and he's not loved by something called the Creator itself.
Yeah, because I've been noticing that, thinking about bringing up looking in the eyes. You know, since they have revived, this ain't nothing new, since they have revived the shooting of black males, you notice how certain whites been looking in our eyes.
Oh yeah.
As if they're looking to see if there's some type of fear there.
Oh yeah.
You notice that?
When you got some consciousness to you, that really intimidates them. When you're strong, when you hold yourself up into a certain degree, they really do not like your intelligence. They don't want you to be intelligent. They want you to recall and retain information. That makes you intelligent.
Right.
Once you can recall and retain, that's just a left side minded person, and that's what you're doing. You're just recalling and retaining. But once you become a thinker and the Most High God gives you, because most of us really, I don't own none of my thoughts. God and the forces, the internal forces is the one that's governing and guiding us. See, we allow God to then be our shepherd. And that God that looks over me and watches over me is almost like that Lord in the sky, which is the sun. The sun, and not only that, the cosmic energy that comes through this universal power.
Right, because dark matter is the dominant force.
Right, it tells you what to do. It gives you enlightenment. You can. All my thoughts are really coming from that force. It's not my thoughts.
As it is above, so it is below. As it is out,
is in. And therefore God lives within, and there ain't no sense of me looking somewhere outside myself for God, because God ain't nowhere but inside. And so whoever receives
I thought that it was I thought they were telling us God was a white man outside of us, sitting in a chair up in the sky.
Some of us think that way. That's the ones that has beaten upside the head so many times, and hit. You ever seen if you go to these churches and they do that Holy Ghost sanctified stuff and knock your ass upside your head and make you believe?
Damn.
Bam, bam. Knock you inside, and don't ask no questions. Just receive Jesus Christ as being your Lord and Savior. Now, knowing that Jesus means Esau. They just put that J on there and covered that up real quick. And whoever Esau is Edom. And Edom like to eat bloody rare meat.
That's what the Israelites say.
It's in the Bible. Look at Genesis. He liked the bloody rare meat. They go walk down any town and look in the window and see what they're eating. Rare bloody meat on their plate.
Let me get it rare.
Huh? They like that blood. They got to have that blood. And they know they're vampires. So therefore,
Neanderthal vampires?
They're the vampires too.
And they love Gentile baby burgers.
Yup. And they like to eat your melon, because they feel as though when they eat that melon and take that melon onto them, it makes them have a thing for the sun.
It's a war on melanated people.
Oh yeah, it's a war, and they selling your organs. They taking the male's organs is where they storing it. Peace and love, brother. Yeah, you know it. Rastafari. Selassie the first. Yes. All right. Yeah. But so yeah.
That's why they don't like us.
And look, we have peace within our own community. We know love when we see it.
Right.
We do. And I need to apologize here to this brother, because I'm going to tell you, I walked around that funky piss one day. Excuse me, young man. Hey, sir, I want to apologize, sir. I want to apologize to you, brother, because you know what? I don't know what came over me that day. You never really did me no wrong, but I was in a real bad mood, and I said, anytime I see you, I don't care what the situation is, I must apologize, and it's coming from my heart. You know I love you.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know I love you.
Black love, black unity.
I am so
Assalamu alaikum, man.
And you are so right. I had something on me so heavy that day. I'm so sorry. All right. I pray that it never happens again in life.
Wasn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Anyway, that's how we're supposed to be. We, as women, you know what, these men, look here, I got a hole in my stomach. That man came from me. And anytime a sister is not giving back that love, do you know what it makes a man do? Want to go chase after some other than his own women.
Right, because it's more,
I'm telling you now, they don't want it. They already said that black women are evil, so and so, but you got to understand.
But that's another reason what just happened as to why they don't like us too. Because we have the innate ability in us to forgive each other and to move forward. And I really love what just happened.
Oh, thank you.
That was black African power.
That's right, because I was dead center wrong. All he did was ask me, did I want to buy a drink or soda? I said I couldn't afford it. He said, yes, you can. I had to straighten him out because I was really in a bad mood because I had to do other things with my money, and I didn't want to explain to him my situation.
So you were speaking from a place.
So I was really angry that he was telling me, yes, you can afford it, when really and truly I had things on my mind saying, I know I'm going to be in a financial bind, and I can't afford even a damn soda.
At that moment.
But I don't drink soda, but I could have bought a water from him just to support his business of trying to go out here and do for himself.
Right.
Because he's a man. And I appreciate brothers out here doing what they got to do in order to make it through this Babylon system. Because they done took every damn thing from him anyway.
Right.
So he cannot support his family. He can't be a man.
Unless we what? Support each other.
That's right. We got to support one another. And that's a black economics that I'm speaking on now.
Right.
It's how we supposed to be there.
Right. Earlier before this breakthrough just took place between you and that brother, I was thinking about something when you was talking about the preacher. I thought about it. When we go into the church or we're members of the church, you know, and it's still a part of your subject, you know, they don't like us because we got rational thinking. And I thought about it. You go into church, you ask the preacher, you say, I want a house, I want a car, I want etc. He says, go pray on it. Pray for it. And before you leave that day, he gonna ask you for some money so he can go and pay for the things that he wants.
Right. That's that tithe and all.
So I said, Pastor, how come you pay for what you want, but I gotta pray for what I want? He said, no, I just took the R out. Take the R out of pray.
Right.
And what it say?
Opportunity.
It say pay.
Yeah, that's right. There's schools of theology, they set them up like that.
Right.
They're all under what's his name? Constantine. No.
Right. And Ptolemy.
Right.
The Ptolemy.
Right. All of this stuff has been set up by the Royal Catholic Church. What do you call it?
RCC done killed the thug. RCC.
Exactly. So they are spreading lies and rumors of somebody named Paul. Their name was really Saul.
Right.
So what did he
they say Saul was killing.
And all
he
of
was
it
killing the believers.
They say gospel. The gospel means gossip.
Right.
Of something that this man never even knew, never met Jesus, but spreading something that's a rumor. Say for instance, I spread and say, go get me some water. By the time I tell him to say, go to the next person and tell him, go get me some water. And when the whole world, it get back to me that
man said, go get my daughter.
Yup.
The 13 books of Paul.
Exactly.
Right.
It's never what
Is Paul a disciple or a deceiver? That's the good question.
You know he was a deceiver, brother. You've seen his flesh. Huh? Okay, he was an opportunist.
That's if he existed.
And it's all about control and order.
Right.
It's all about control and order
So they use control, order, and dominance to affect us because they don't like us? Because they have something against us? It's
because that they wasn't the chosen children of God.
So that's the war on melanated people. Children of the sun.
The children of the sun. That's why they killing us. And they said that because God never favored them, never allowed them to be colorful. I mean, here they've been on in America for how many years now?
400 to 500 years.
Okay, and they've been bathing in the sun and all that, but they go right back on to their pale color because the sun is only going to set on them for a minute and, you know, tan them up a bit. But a lot of times they're catching cancer and they're dying, and they're not even telling you that they're dying while we're dying.
Nature did not make them conducive to a sun-dominated galaxy.
Right. And being that they're social engineered in the wrong direction, then a lot of our brothers are going out there seeking because it's in his dominant gene anyway. So therefore, he's out there giving, you know,
his seed away to
this
the daughter of our oppressors.
The daughter of our oppressors, and causing him to be tanner and tanner that way.
Right.
So therefore, the way that he's got to stop this is by establishing a death sentence on our brothers without anything that they had to do wrong. They don't have to do anything wrong.
Right.
But they're going to go out here and kill him and say that it was righteous for that officer to do so. It is what it is, and it's all throughout America. And so what I think what we need to do right now is that we need to come up with a plan, and I mean stick to this plan, and this plan is like Harriet Tubman.
Okay.
It's almost like I told you one time before, we really do need the Exodus. and let.
Yeah, you told me. I remember it was about 4 or 5 years ago. You
Yes,
were talking about it. At least 6.
I've been talking about Exodus at least 12 years now.
Right.
That means leave. We need to take our little asses up out of here, because social services don't give a damn about our children.
Hey, John, there.
They don't. And these are the new. When these African American schools were established, they were established, and they all have plaques down there saying their house was it state normal for Negroes. These were the children of the masters that had these children by his winches, his bed winches. Exactly.
Yeah.
But they were really his lovers, and he really felt something for them because their sex drove his ass crazy.
Right.
That he never had from his own woman.
This was before the invention of the.
Yes.
This was before the invention of the automobile.
Right.
I know that.
Right. So the black woman made so much good love to this master. She was so pleased, just like these I call them Euro Negroes.
Europeans.
No.
Negropeans.
Yeah, Negropeans or Euro Negro. European Negroes.
That's right.
Okay, when they get up with these white men and they feel as though that they love them so, they can take care of them so, they get so weak and so humble and so caring and adorable with this guy. She don't make no waves because she knows she's going to be well taken care of, and she wants to talk all that sweet yum to him. But when it comes down to that brother, she's already know that she ain't shit, he ain't shit.
She don't got no toleration from her brother.
She ain't got no toleration to give him a love and affection, unconditional love.
Okay, I was talking with a sister about this earlier, so I'm gonna play the opposite, as they call the devil's advocate. I was wondering, because the sister was out here earlier talking about that, and she said she was dating a white man, and she said, once a brother do me wrong, I cut him off.
Yeah, she cut him off because she ain't got sense.
So
she ain't got no
then
love
she said,
for herself.
well, the white man took me to the beach last week, and she said he paid $100 and some for the hotel room.
Yeah.
He paid the gas. He paid her. She said, I asked him, do you want some gas money? That's my point. Nothing is for free.
Forever.
It always forever. So she said he wanted to have sex. She said he wanted to have sex. Hold on. Okay, she was like, he didn't ask to have sex. Like, he took her to the hotel room, and no, he did ask to have sex, but she refused it. She said, but he didn't get an attitude like some black males do. And then I tried to tell her, well, let's see, because one day he's gonna get an attitude. And let's see if you cut this white man off like you don't have no toleration for brothers. But I understand that. A lot of white women who date black men have been molested by white men.
Of course.
And so that would equally be true that a lot of black women who were molested by black men tend to have issues with black men. Right. And that's what I was trying to tell her. But then I said, not all white men molest their children. Right. And not all black men molest children.
Right.
So you switching over to another race without exploring or discovering a good black male among black men.
Acceptance.
She didn't want to do that. She wanted to go straight.
That's the order.
Right.
It's acceptance. She wants to be accepted into this society, and she feels as though now that she's got a white man or someone accepting her, you know, by having sex with her and doing whatever he needs her to do. I guarantee you, if somebody was to explore her that way, she would feel more appreciated if 10 white men bumped her off at the same time and they sit back there and laughed at her. She would still feel as though she's a part of their
white society. She wouldn't give up on them like she gave up on the black society.
You let 10 black men rape her, then she's like, oh, I've been violated.
Yeah,
you know,
I got to take this to the United Nations.
I got to do something about that.
Right, and it is wrong. I'm not saying it's right, it is wrong.
But I'm just saying to you, it's about wanting to be accepted, and we still on this level. And back to what I was saying about as far as these new house niggas.
Yeah.
See, that's also a way of acceptance. Once you go into a black university these days, they join these organizations. Department of Social Service is full of Delta Sigma Theta. They're the ones that control the overseeing properties of the European low trashy Negroes that he created.
There are some good brothers and sisters that work in social service.
I'm telling you, it is.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying all of them.
I know you're not, but I just wanted to make that clear. I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
And there's also some messed up people that work in there.
Right, but they don't understand themselves that these are the new house niggas that they got overseeing us. It's not like the old slavery, but it's a new idea and a new adventure and a carrying on toward what they had already wanted, which is this new world order. So what they did was they gave us universities. Elizabeth City State was founded in 1891. It has a mark on that ground. I went to college there. State normal for Negroes.
Yeah, you sure did. Right, short. That was a little bit before you came to Richmond, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
met you in 1990.
No, it's
93 or 94.
Right, but I was talking about when the school was established as 1891.
Okay.
I went to school in the 80s.
To that same school?
To this, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying that Norfolk University, State University, the same thing applies. Hampton University, the same thing applies. And when they got into these organizations, they went into the Greek philosophy, but the first one was the Black Boule.
Okay.
It is Alpha Phi Alpha, which is, these are educators. They're all in the, most of them are into the Department of Education.
There are 9 of them, right? Nine major black sororities under Greek fraternity.
Right.
Right.
But I'm just saying to you that, following that, this is why I know for a fact that these are the new house niggas. The AKAs and the Alpha Phi Alphas, they're in the education. The Omega Psi Phi, there are also these brothers. These are correction officers, and you find most of them have a certain stigma about them.
Okay.
Stigmas is the same.
Okay.
Okay, but you have more or less the what do you call them? K Phi Psi or
the Kappa Sigma Rho.
No, Kappa.
Something like that.
Yeah, those are the women, but I'm talking about the Kappa Alpha side.
The frats.
Right.
Okay.
These are certain fraternities and sororities that they have separated themselves from who they are as far as black folk and African Americans and all of that. They affiliate themselves with being in the brotherhood and the sisterhood of these organizations. And these organizations are the house Negroes that organize principles and power over this European force. So there are opportunities more or less, and they all stick together and out to win dominance, European dominance.
For Europeans.
For Europeans.
Because I don't see no Europeans in a frat or sorority rocking African letters.
Right. You're not.
Right.
But they're Greek sororities and fraternities. These are, and they get ready to get rid of them too, because they're closing down black colleges. So
they're gonna be Mexicans now.
Look here, they closing down the African American colleges.
Right.
And they're getting rid of these niggas because they don't need them to run and operate nothing no more. They're done. So all y'all that want to hear that. They don't need you no more.
So you saying the Negro don't realize that they don't need them no more?
Oh, they don't.
He think he has a permanent place.
And the more they do, they walk with their asses so tight. And
the more they realize, the better niggas they become. That's what you're saying?
Yes. They gonna bend over an
above
extra mile.
And beyond the call
you know what? When they go to their private orders with those Europeans, they sit there and talk about their ignorant asses as if you done lost your dumb ass minds, because you ought to be cursed for what you have done. And then you can't be going to church asking Jesus or Isa for his forgiveness, because Isa don't care nothing about you, never did. All he cared about is that red bloody meat. And he may eat your ass after it's all over and done with.
Right.
So, you know, to be honest with you, you're not loved, and nor are you appreciated for your efforts and your contributions toward enslaving your own people. And that's my message to these organizations that don't internally look into what they are out to do. And you know you're wrong. That's why it's haunting the conscience of your mind. You can't even live with yourself. And most of you are not even happy. It's no way, because you are all out for false promises and no good for nothing.
That's right.
You're not trying to help your brothers and sisters arrive to the degree of trying to get them to stop socially promoting hate records on YouTube, any of that.
SoundCloud, all them.
You know,
right.
Not YouTube, but
I understand.
You know,
the music genre.
Yeah,
right.
And the music. You know that music is frequency and sound and vibration. You know that you're putting them in GameStop to go buy war simulators for your children. Right. You know.
Because, speaking of the music, I want you to elaborate on the club. The pastor in the club is the MC.
The who?
Right, the MC.
Okay.
And the mantras that are given out by the MC.
Right.
Throw them bows. Kill them all. See, they doing actual rituals of magic in the club and don't know it.
Exactly, because
go in on that stuff.
Yeah, because that's what they've been taught. They're also playing a part in trying to destroy us as a people. Everything on this world is being, just like you see these buildings, you see anything structured wise, it was engineered the same way that social engineered for us to be where we are. It's not our own fault sometimes. It was because of generation after generation and dysfunctional curses that has been brought upon us during the time that we have continued to bow down and try to bring order so that this Babylon beast won't hang, lynch, burn, beat, shoot, kill, maim, and do all he can oversize us with this food from Monsanto's that doesn't affect the European.
Them GMOs.
That's right. They already got research hospitals such as MCV that knows everything they need to know about your DNA and how to modify the food in order for it to do you more harm than doing them, because we're carbon-based people. We're not sulfur-based people.
Right.
And it doesn't affect them like it affects us.
Right.
So we have to be conscious also as to what we put in our body, what we eat, what we listen to, and all that.
Music opens up our chakra.
Yes, very much.
Sex opens up our chakra.
Exactly.
Mantras open up our chakra.
Exactly.
So again, that ritual is being taken place in the club. You got the music, you got the mantra, you got the sex. All of these things are opening the club visitor up to insert in them messages.
Yep.
Through the music.
Exactly.
Could you really go in on that? Because it can work positive or negative, these rituals.
Right.
So the negative is taking place in the club.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I say again, you know, this world is all social engineered, and it's out to do us more harm than anything in this world. So what you listen to and the sounds and the frequencies bring everything to a solid nature. So therefore, when you listening to music, we should be listening to a music that's built on a 528 megahertz or a heartbeat frequency, so that we'll be able to be in tune with the universe, so we'll be able to pick up messages through silence. And this, I mean, look at that, your sister.
Yeah, that's my sister. Hey, babe.
Yeah, so when we start to be in tune with who we are as a people, and listening to God speaking to our consciousness, meditating on that vibe that gave us everlasting life, and which is the sun, because everything came from that sun. Let me not fool you, and there's a reason why they putting them chemtrails out there too. You ever heard of chemtrails, brother?
I most certainly have.
Okay, that's another thing that we left out the equation when it comes down to sound, what we eat, but it's also chemtrails too, because they have this
that beryllium in there.
yeah. And it has a conditioning on us. You see how many black people have lost their mind, and we walk around here being disgusted and ashamed of who we are as a people, only because this stuff has gotten to our minds and caused them to crack up. Because yes, it's causing them.
It's a war on melanated people.
Yeah, it's a war on melanated people.
They just don't like.
And it's unseen, but it's seen.
Right.
It's seen right before our bird eyes.
But yet,
and then when we bring it up,
unseen by our unconscious
right.
people.
We don't have no desire to do a damn thing about it. We just keep right on allowing it to continue to happen because they feel as though, well, they doing it to themselves, but whatever they're doing to themselves is not affecting them like it's affecting you, because you, again, are different people. Don't say that we all alike, because if we were all alike, we would have hue. We're not all alike.
And Europeans don't have.
They don't have it.
Right.
And that's why they hate us. And these are just a small minority of a race of people that we are so afraid of, and they got a reason for showing the Wizard of Oz every year. That's the theme of their whole subject. While we so nervous and clumsy running up there down the yellow brick road to go see the wizard, he ain't nothing but an old little small fragile asshole behind the curtain, making a dramatic sound and a vibration.
Got us talking to a mass. But really, he over to the side.
We need to wake up, people. I'm telling you right now, we need to wake up, rise, organize, and stop going into these stores in Baltimore. In Baltimore and every other place, and robbing and looting and shooting and killing. We have to have a better plan if we want to do something about what they're doing to us. And it ain't just about taking some M&Ms and some Doritos and going robbing 7-Elevens.
They should do it better, but I can't knock them.
Well, we ain't gonna talk about our plan on this.
Right, we're not gonna do that.
Let me tell you something. You want to talk to a sister about something? Come check me. I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
That's right.
Put it out there.
She's been in the street. She's been in these streets.
And
this
I ain't
is
gonna
a
go
real
nowhere, because
soldier right here.
I know that this world right here is only a test. It's only a test of the emergency broadcast system. It don't tell me where to go for, as I know, but I know the Masons put out their subliminal message to tell us this is only a test.
Right.
And that's all it is. And life is going to be everlasting. Maybe not in this physical body, but I don't know how many I got. That I know I got an aura. And it's standing in the presence right now in front of you. It's just not my body, but it's my spirit just operating and controlling my every movement. And with this being said, that once this body go, then where am I going? There's a lot of places.
You're still going to be.
We're going to still be in existence.
Energy and matter cannot be destroyed.
It can't.
This is another New Black World Order TV Productions. We thank you for coming out. And will you come back again and share more of your divine cosmic wisdom with us?
Of course I will, brother.
Black
Anytime.
power, and we thank you.